The Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, there were three little pigs who lived with their mother in a cozy little cottage. One bright morning, their mother called them together and said, "My dear children, you are all grown up now. It's time for you to go out into the world and build homes of your own. But remember, whatever you do, make your houses strong enough to keep you safe." The three little pigs hugged their mother goodbye and set off on their adventure. The first little pig and his straw house. The first little pig, who loved to play more than anything, thought, "I'll build my house quickly so I can spend the rest of the day having fun." He found a sunny field filled with golden straw. "This will do nicely," he said, and began piling up bundles of straw to form walls. By noon his house was finished. It wasn't very big or very sturdy, but the little pig didn't mind. "This will keep me warm and cozy," he said, and spent the rest of the day playing in the meadow. The second little pig and his stick house. The second little pig was not as lazy as his brother, but he wasn't a fan of hard work either. He came across a forest with plenty of sticks lying around. "Sticks are stronger than straw," he thought, "and I'll still finish quickly." The third little pig and his brick house. The third little pig was the most hard-working and thoughtful of the three. He wanted a house that could stand against anything. He found a pile of bricks and began building. It was hard work. He laid each brick carefully, using mortar to hold them together. He built sturdy walls, a solid roof, and even a strong wooden door with a shiny brass handle. By the time he finished, the sun was setting, and he was exhausted. But he looked at his strong brick house and smiled. "This house will keep me safe, no matter what," he said, and he slept soundly that night. The big bad wolf arrives. The next day, a hungry big bad wolf came prowling through the woods. He sniffed the air and said, "Ah, I smell pig, juicy, tender pig." He followed the scent to the first little pig's straw house. The wolf knocked on the door and growled, little pig, let me come in." The first little pig peeked out and squealed, "Not by the hair on my chinny chin. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in," roared the wolf. The wolf huffed and puffed, and with one mighty breath, the straw house collapsed. The first little pig squealed in fright and ran as fast as he could to his brother's stick house. The wolf at the stick house. The wolf followed, and soon arrived at the second little pig's stick house. He knocked loudly and growled, little pigs, let me come in." "Not by the hair on our chinny chins," the two pigs cried. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." The wolf huffed and puffed, and though the stick house held out longer than the straw one, it too came crashing down. The two pigs screamed and ran to their brother's brick house. The wolf at the brick house. The wolf, now very hungry and very angry, followed them to the brick house. He banged on the door and shouted, little pigs, let me come in." "Not by the hair on our chinny chins," the three pigs replied from inside. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." The wolf huffed and puffed. He blew and blew until he was red in the face. But the brick house didn't budge. The wolf's stomach growled. He decided to try another plan. He climbed up onto the roof and said to himself, "I'll sneak down the chimney and catch those pigs." The clever plan. Inside the brick house, the third little pig heard the wolf's footsteps on the roof. "He's coming down the chimney," the pig said. "Quick, let's light a fire." The pigs built a roaring fire in the fireplace and placed a big pot of boiling water on it. When the wolf slid down the chimney, he landed with a splash right into the hot water. Yow! He howled and scrambled back up the chimney, howling all the way. The wolf ran off into the woods, never to bother the three little pigs again. Happily ever after. The first and second little pigs were so grateful to their clever brother. "You were right to work so hard," they said. "From now on, we'll build strong houses, too." The three little pigs lived happily ever after in the sturdy brick house, safe and sound.